Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Luann and I have been working through my grief journey from the loss of my husband in March of 2020. I try to put up a video every Sunday. And last Sunday, I told you guys that I was rejoining my gym and getting back into that. And I would let you know how it goes this week. Well, I got sick this week and missed work and real bad sore throat, earache. One side of my sinuses was just on fire. And even though I rejoined the gym, I didn't touch it this week. So I'm hoping that I can get back into it tomorrow. Been struggling a little bit still, but I'd like to do at least 3 to maybe 4 days a week. So I'm not sure if it will be tomorrow. If it's not tomorrow, it will definitely be Tuesday because I'm still not 100%. And I don't want to push my body to the point of me getting sicker or coming down with something else. So I just wanted to give you that update. Um, Definitely had an okay week. Spent a little time with my son and my uncle on Saturday morning. I got some free furniture gifted to me, and we went and picked that up. And thank goodness he was there to help because it was, it was a little bit to get. It was a hutch and a couch and 2 end tables. So I'm very blessed to have gotten it. I have a family room that had absolutely no furniture in it, so that went in there. And yeah, I did my every Sunday I try to pre-cook every meal for the week because of the hours that I work. It takes me 40 minutes to get home, and I, it's a lot, and I don't want to come home and have to cook something. So Sundays are usually my meal prep day for the week. So I have lunches and dinners taken care of, and I don't have to worry about, I can grab something out of the fridge and go to work, and then I can come home, grab something else out of the fridge, and have dinner. So I made stuffed cabbage rolls today. I made stuffed green peppers today, and I made a chicken broccoli cheddar bake thing. So I'm good for that. Got my kitchen all cleaned up. I have a funeral to go to on October 3rd. Was my husband's second wife. And believe it or not, she was incredible. After my husband passed away, she made sure that I was okay and came to the service, and she was the one that, had her arms around me, and we cried together. And so it's going to be a tough thing for me. And that also, October 3rd, is the day that my dad passed away. So it's 9 years on October 3rd. So that's going to be a tough day for me. But I'm hoping that I can get in the gym and really just focus on, working out, getting back into shape, and not dwell so much on this because it's already going to be tough enough. I mean, I lost both my parents and my husband, so it's, then you lose a friend, and yeah, it's definitely been a rough few years for me. Um, but I am on the healing side of it. I do feel like, I had to laugh because the girl that does my hair was my husband's stepdaughter from the second marriage. And she did my hair yesterday, And on my way to get my hair done, there was a coyote that had been hit and killed by a car on the side of the road. And my first, I'm like, oh, that's so sad, that I don't know, I love animals. And I thought, oh my gosh, somebody hit a coyote. That's odd to see. I wonder if it was at night or if this was a sick one because it's by itself on the side of the road. I didn't know. And then this memory hit me that my husband used to hunt coyotes back when he was younger because they lived on a farm and there were several that would, come and get the chickens and stuff. So, and I guess there was some kind of a thing back then that you would get paid for, I don't know. Anyway, he had coyote pelts, skins, whatever you want to call them. And it just hit me like if he was alive and he was in the car with me, he would have made me stop so that he could skin this coyote on the side of the road. Like he would have been like, "Oh well, she can wait and do our hair some other time. I've got to get this done." And I shared that with her when I was getting my hair done. She's like, she called him Papa Squirrel. And she's like, "Oh, Papa Squirrel, you would so do that." So it was kind of a nice memory to, that came into my head. I was just like, he would just so do that. I find that, being 2.5 years out, that I'm starting to be able to laugh about memories instead of being so sad. And yeah, it was something that, was kind of funny for me. So yeah, it wasn't too bad of a week. Next week, we'll see how that goes. Um, but I wanted to be on here today and just let you know that the update about the gym and working out and stuff is just not, it didn't happen because I got sick. So, um, I hope that you are having a good week. I hope that you are finding ways to cope and to deal with your grief. Like, I hope that you're getting out, joining a gym, going to see a movie, um, joining a club like, the AMVETS, American Veterans, the Legion. If you have, your dad, your brother, your uncle, I think you can join the auxiliary or the Sons of, if your dad was, you can join the Sons of the American Legion, or, your dad was, you could do the auxiliary. I just hope that, you're finding tools to occupy your mind and your life so that you aren't sitting at home grieving alone and in so much pain. Um, it's so difficult to think that you are alone in what you're going through and that no one understands, um, because I do. I've been there. I've sat alone. I've cried for days on end alone. I am one of the worst people to ask for help, but it just seems like, and I don't know, and I don't want to offend anyone, but I did a lot of praying. I was angry at God in the beginning of it because I feel like my husband fought so hard for so long. To have his journey just like cut short was just not, I was just so angry about it. Um, but we all have a path, and it was chosen long before we were even born, I believe. And that was his path, and we're not to question. But it doesn't make it any easier, and it doesn't make us any less angry. And I get angry. I'm still angry at him too. So But I also feel like things are like I've turned a page. Like I'm not so horribly in a horrible place anymore. Like I'm starting to care about myself and the things that I do and really trying to just do things for myself. Um, would it have been great to do it with him? Absolutely. But I also understand that if I don't do them, they're never going to happen and my life is going to end and I'm going to leave all these things left undone. So I am going to do things for myself. I'm not going to miss movies at the theater because I don't want to go alone. Or I'm not going to miss going, out with a group of friends because everybody else is married. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to I have started. I have started doing things for myself. So if there's, you know, things that you wanted to do and you were going to do together, do them. Honor their memory and honor them by completing the things that you wanted to do together. And include them. Like, when say you want to go see the Grand Canyon and you're standing at the Grand Canyon, you can say, hey, we're here. I did it. I did it for us. So I don't want you to be sitting at home and suffering. And I know you're going to it anyway, but try if you're in the beginning of it, try once a week to get yourself out of that house. If it's too difficult once a week, go once every 2 weeks. Go volunteer at a dog shelter or an animal shelter. Go volunteer at a soup kitchen. Go volunteer at a food bank. Something. Just to get yourself outside of your comfort zone and do something that will make you feel good when you actually do it. Go see a movie. Something you've wanted to see. Go out and test drive a car that you've always wanted to own with no intention of buying. But go do it, you know? We all understand that the pain is real. Your heart is never the same. You live in a different place once you've lost a spouse. Parents are 100% different. Do I grieve for my parents? Yes. But when you lose your spouse and your whole world turns upside down and you get scared to love someone else because it could happen again. Would you survive it again? I don't know if I would. I don't know how, if you have lost a child, that's a pain that I have never experienced, and I hope that I don't. But I can imagine that you are still living with the same hurt and pain, and you need to be able to find something to occupy your mind. Even if you're working, you come home to that house or that apartment or whatever circumstance, and you feel it. So you've got to learn how to put something in that place. And whether it be volunteering or taking yourself out, buying a new dress or new suit, whatever, That is what saved me, was getting out of the house. Weekends were so hard. Nights and weekends were so hard for me. Nights, you could at least get home from work, make dinner, go to bed if you wanted to. But when you wake up on a Saturday morning and you're in the real nitty-gritty of grief, weekends suck. You can only clean so much. You can only do so much yard work outside. You can only do so much, and then you're stuck in it. So that's when I learned to, I was doing puzzles. It'd occupy your mind. 1,000-piece puzzle, 1,500-piece puzzle. Occupied my mind for quite some time. Binged watched some shows on Netflix. Like nothing, not like, any kind of love stories or anything like that. But I did like the Great American Baker, something like that they do, or not Great American Baker. It's something, anyway, it's in England or something. I can't remember what it's called. Great Baker or something. I don't know. But I binge watched that. House Hunters. I work in real estate. I love that show. Love it. Any kind of home renovation shows. Just something else, you can get lost in it. Read. Oh my gosh, I read to read, because you can lose yourself in a book for hours, Pick up a hobby, something that you like, whether it be golf or tennis or, making jewelry or whatever you can do. My best piece of advice, and this is something that just, I can't say it enough to you, is you have to occupy your mind with something else. Because grief is wicked, and it plays tricks on your mind like no other thing you've ever experienced. I don't know. I came so close to just giving up so many times. And again, I prayed about it. And my husband was always very adamant about someone that would take their own life is a coward. And I always remembered that, him saying that to me. Like, I'm not a coward. This hurts like hell, and I don't want to live it anymore, but I'm not a coward, and I'm not going to give up. There were days, trust me. It's even emotional now because I would have missed out on so much. And I would have left pain for other people that care about me and love me. And I would never, ever think of inflicting this on anyone. And that keeps me going, being busy and just being real about it. Are there days I stay home all day? You better believe it, there is. But I occupy my time. There are days I just don't feel like seeing people, but I occupy my time. So that's my one and only best piece of advice, is that you've got to occupy that time. And don't inflict pain on other people. Fight through it. Do what you gotta do. Think about your family. just keep fighting because there is good on the other side. I'm experiencing good on the other side of it. I have a really good job. I have a nice home. Even though I'm renting, I still have a nice home. I have food in my refrigerator. I mean, I am blessed. And you will find that spot someday. And that's getting to this point is hell. There's no other way to say it. Still have emotions, still have love in my heart for my husband and always will. But I'm going to do as I promised and continue to live my life. As hard as it gets sometimes, still going to keep going and fighting and helping wherever I can. And I hope that I'm helping you a little bit, that maybe you can see a little bit of yourself in my situation, or you thought you were going through something, you're like, wow, I'm doing this alone. Trust me, I've probably felt every emotion you have. Maybe different. We all grieve differently, but I just want you to know that it's worth fighting for. Your life is worth fighting for. Don't end up being swallowed by your grief. Fight for yourself. Fight for your life. Fight for the things that you want to do, that you wanted to do together or you wanted to do by yourself. Something that was on your bucket list. Do it. Find a way and just do it. That's what I hope for all of you, is that you get to the point where you find that you are worth fighting for. I can tell you right now, you are worth fighting for. It took me a long time to find that I was worth fighting for, because grief plays with your mind so much. So remember that. Remember that you are worth fighting for. And if you take nothing away from my videos other than that, I'll be happy. You are worth fighting for. Keep yourself busy, and you'll get there. It's just amazing to me how I got here, and I'm not quite sure how, but I now laugh about things that my husband either said or did, or I'll see a memory will come up on Facebook or something like that, and I'll just be, it makes me smile now. Like, I had my husband for 15 years, and it wasn't all great. Y'all have, I think when someone passes away, you put them on this pedestal. You're like, oh my gosh, they were the best person in the whole world. And it's grief, it's the grief. And then like, well, yeah, but he did used to do this, or he did used to say this, and, kind of hurt my feelings or whatever. And I can still look back and say that I'm so glad and so blessed that I had my husband for 15 years, even though he was a jerk at times. And I'm sure he probably thought, oh, she's something. So, but yeah, I have very, very good memories, and they'll always be with me. And it's something no one can take from me. And I just hope that you watching me go through everything helps you a little. So I'm going to end it. Stop rambling. I'm going to end it here, and I hope you guys have a great and blessed week. I will talk to you next Sunday.